I guess you guys don't really see me as a streamer, right? I'm ready to go. Hello YouTubers, this is noobifier. Streaming has become part of gaming culture and has exploded more since we were locked down for COVID. More of us not only spent more time watching people stream, but also decided to start streaming. As a content creator, I know many other content creators who might be interested in this product, but this is a much smaller audience than joysticks. With that surge in interest for streaming, you might also be interested in it as well. So in this video, I might help you solve a problem that you didn't even know you had. So we begin. I recently did a review for this product's portable sibling, and in that video I posted the same disclaimer. No matter what I do, I will never be able to show you before and after recorded footage on YouTube. And this is because of the way that the platform compresses and plays back video. I recently tested posting 8K to YouTube, and it was clear that posting the highest or best quality will result in less loss. So please just trust me when I say that there's a real and noticeable improvement in the video quality of these newer products in the HDMI 2.1 generation. Not only am I interested in the improvement in visual quality, but there are two products being released today. One is focused on offering the newest and best, call that the flagship, and the other is focused on offering you the best on a budget. Really interesting stuff as these two products do more, and I would expect older generation stuff to go on sale today, or you might find some really good deals on eBay for the legacy stuff. A physical video capture device usually sits between your source and your screen. This is called pass-through. And these new cards' most impressive feature is being discussed first. As gamers, we all understand the benefit of variable refresh rate. VRR systems prevent our screens from tearing, ensuring that your screen and your graphics card are synchronized. The screen only draws when the card has completed its draw, and then the process starts again. Pass-through historically would not pass through all of the information needed for gamers to use VRR. These cards do. If your screen and your source support VRR, you can now finally capture this without compromising your gaming experience. PCI Express capture cards use PCI Express ports within your PC. You can either use a card like this in your gaming PC or use a second PC called a stream PC. Putting this inside your gaming PC and then running OBS in the background works very well on a budget because all of the heavy transcoding is done and offloaded to this capture card. The Stream PC relocates all of that work away from your gaming PC, but at a higher cost, with the major benefit being if the game crashes, it won't crash your stream. If you play alpha or incomplete games such as StarCitizen, you may benefit from building a Stream PC, as when the game finally tanks, the stream carries on, and all you need to do is reset. You must have an available port in the PC to use this card. You therefore might like to plan in advance. I don't only capture game footage, but I also capture raw HDMI signal from cameras, feet, faces, hands, products being reviewed, and all of these need to be collected. I do this in two locations from the studio, which means I have two streaming PCs. In StreamCard, I was able to find an unusual feature on a B550 motherboard, which was 4 PCI Express 16 ports, which allows me to use 3 of these cards plus a graphics card. If you need this number of capture cards in your PC, it's important to remember that populating all of the ports at the same time, like I've done, might only be possible if other things such as NVMe drives are left out. Please contact me directly for some help if you need it, here either in the comments or through Discord. So because I have the ports available, I've decided to use all of the past generation's AVerMedia capture cards in StreamCard. The 3 cards give me 4 HDMI streams for use in OBS, which is 2 separate 4K inputs, and the Duo has 2 more 1080 inputs. All of these are capped to 60 pass-through, but because all of these are usually connected to mirrorless Canon cameras, I don't need pass-through, so I'm solid and the stream always looks great. Using a mirrorless camera like this isn't limited to gaming, as you can also exploit all of the optical quality, low light, and resolution benefits that this type of camera has over a webcam. Even the most expensive webcam could not provide what the most entry-level Canon R50 can. So again, if you're curious about any of this, please contact me. The second system has only 3 PCI Express 16s, but the more budget-friendly HD cards being released today uses a more common PCI Express 1 port. Even if your computer has no times 16 ports free, it's very likely that you will have one or a couple times 1 ports. Being released today are the GC575 and the GC571, both offering 4K streaming at a different price point. The flagship Live Gamer 4K, or the GC575, offers 4K pass-through or 4K 120 pass-through with VRR enabled. If you need more, it'll pass through 240 frames at 2K and 360 frames at 1080p resolution. Everything's been designed to minimize lag, so you won't even notice it. And with the card, you're able to capture up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR. On screen and in the recordings, I can tell the difference with less ghosting and fewer compression artifacts. And I find that the screen recording through OBS has the potential, based on the recording settings, to appear as good as the recording captured to the SD card directly on the camera, which is quite a statement. The bling of the RGB does a lot more here than a fancy light show. It's fully customizable by the user, but if it's strobing blue or flashing blue, it's detecting the device, or in the middle of a firmware update, if it's red, flashing red, or orange, you have a problem that's preventing the card from working, and by default, Rainbow Wave indicates that everything is happy. The more budget-friendly Livestreamer Ultra HD, or the GC571, is a slightly cut-down version, but still manages to push previously impossible features. You're able to pass through 4K at 60 with HDR and VRR, 2K at 120 with HDR and VRR, or 1080 will pass through at 240 with HDR and VRR. You're able to capture 4K but at 30, and as I said, this card connects through PCI Express ×1, which is fantastic. I'm going to give you a use case. Your streaming PC may only have one PCI Express 16 after the graphics card, but it might have 2 or 3 ×1. You should therefore have 4K at 60 and the highest pass-through for your main screen with the LiveGamer 4K 2.1, but your face from a camera can look awesome even at 4K at 30 with the Livestreamer Ultra HD. AVerMedia allows me to make the content that you have and will watch in the future with problem-free hardware at the cutting edge of what the consumer can have. Both cards are drop-in driverless for stability, but to get the most out of them, it's important to install the software bundle for future updates in firmware and to fine-tune special resolutions for support like widescreen monitors. Please don't forget that a capture card will take any HDMI 2.1 signal, and that could be from a next-generation console, from a PC, from a handheld. I can even capture what's going on my iPad. It's quite flexible. There's normally a promo code of 6%, but this week the code will take off 10% for either of these cards because it's launch, and there. I hope that you now feel armed with the information that you need to achieve what you want. Thank you to AVerMedia for the early preview of the newest tech, and thank you for remaining to the end of the video. My goal, as always, is to grow the channel, and I could not do that without the help of viewers like you. Capture safe.